Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, we had a chat with Blackwall and Cassandra, I believe. And next up on my list is Cullen over here. Hello.
Did you need something?
Okay, let's see. Yeah, why did the Templars leave?
Why would Templars break away from the Chantry?
The Order believes the Chantry no longer supports their efforts. Not to the extent they should.
Yeah, so what changed?
But the Templars have served the Chantry for ages.
In that time, they've come to take the Order's services for granted. The Templars risk their lives against blood magic, demons, abominations, to feel as if those efforts are dismissed. I may disagree with the Order's actions, but I'm here as proof of that. I sympathize with their frustrations.
It is awkward because I will agree with him that more often than not, the Templars' suffering is often overlooked because the mages suffer more. And I'm not saying that, like, oh, that justifies the Templars who are bastards to mages. Like, no. It doesn't. It doesn't justify or make it better or anything. However, the Templars are aggressors, but they are also victims in this. They are victims of the Chantry. Everything that is wrong with this situation stems from the Chantry just being like, hey, we're gonna give you this this highly addictive drug. Okay, now we're gonna control it. So, like, if you want more of that, then you've got to keep coming to us. And we're not really gonna show you any proper appreciation. And also, in lieu of appreciation, we're gonna tell you that, like, you can do whatever you want, but, like, you actually can't, and if you go too far, we're gonna yell at you. Like, there's a lot of mixed messages there. There are a lot of confusing signals, and I can understand why the Templars would be like, we don't understand what's happening. Like, 1 minute it's our divine right to... I was gonna say look after the mages, that's not... You know, it's our divine right to be in charge of the mages, but then you're having a go at us for doing that, but then when we don't go too far, you're having a go at us then, and what? Like, it must be very confusing for them. It must be extremely confusing, and everything's the Chantry's fault, in my mind. Everything is on the Chantry.
I should get to know you better. We are working together after all.
What would you like to know?
All right. Where are you from?
How to act for Eldon. My esteemed Lady Sidonia, I'd like to take full responsibility for Lady Marchalette's odd behaviour of late. You see, we recently began the study of history. I thought that it would do the young mistress some good to be exposed to all Theodosian cultures, and not just Orlais. It was a foolish thought. Regrettably, your dear daughter has taken a particular interest in Ferelden folklore. She has developed an affinity for King Callanhad, which seems to have devolved into borderline infatuation. She stared at me wise-eyed, eyes wide, when I told her how he unified the barbarians with his allegedly incomparable might and charisma. Every time I tried to move the lesson onto something more important, she insisted I tell her again about Callanhad, how the Fereldans say his hair was twice as yellow as the sun, and his chin more chiselled than the tallest peak in the Frostbacks. Twice now I've had to tear down drawings she's tacked up in her bedroom of the man shirtless. Then we moved on to the werewolves, which was even worse. As you may already know, the Fereldans venerate the folk heroes Dane and Hafter. Dane was said to have been a werewolf, and Hafter to have descended from one. No enlightened man or woman could ever view such beast people with anything but revulsion. But you know Fereldans and their love of wildlife. Unfortunately, these tales of the wolfmen set the little mistress's imagination afire. When she suggested we put on a play for you and her Lord Father, I could not say no. I'm afraid that's why Marshallette was running through the mansion, wearing wet furs and frightening the chambermaids. She was rehearsing a scene in which Hafter drives back the Darkspawn. I've been informed that some priceless family heirlooms were destroyed amidst all that confusion, and I cannot fully express my dismay. I understand if my abject failure as a tutor results in my immediate dismissal. A letter from Brother Bernard to his former employer. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I grew up in Ferelden near Honleath. I was transferred to Kirkwall shortly after the Blight. This is the first I've returned in almost 10 years.
Ah, Honleath. That's the place we picked up Shale. Varric's from Kirkwall. You were away a long time. Tell me about the Blight. Tell me about Kirkwall. From the top, yeah, it has been a while since he's been back in Ferelden.
You haven't seen Ferelden in 10 years. Are you glad to be back?
I was not sorry to leave at the time. I did not expect to return. Now, between the Divine's murder and the breach, I've arrived to find nothing but chaos.
Yeah, the Blight. This is an awkward question because you are asking about a natural disaster, effectively. A natural disaster, a horrific war, whatever you would like to call it. I think maybe this is Aenor's curiosity getting the better of her. I can't imagine she was particularly badly affected by the Blight in the Free Marches. Obviously, she had that run-in with Darkspawn when she was about, I think I said she was 13-ish? I can't remember off the top of my head, but she had that run-in with Darkspawn when she was a child, but technically speaking, that was before the Blight. That was just, a random band of Darkspawn that had come up from a Deep Roads entrance. That wasn't the terror of the Blights that so many people talk about. And I do think she's interested to hear more about that.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight. Did you fight Darkspawn?
No. I was stationed at Ferelden's Circle Tower. The Circle had troubles of its own. I remained there during the Blight.
Sounds like there's a story behind that.
What happened at the Circle Tower?
You who survived the Blight have fond memories of that time. I would prefer not to speak of it.
What about Kirkwall?
What was Kirkwall like?
While I was there, Canary occupied and then attacked the city. The Viscount's murder caused political unrest. Relations between mages and Templars fell apart. An apostate blew up the Chantry, and the Knight Commander went mad. Other than that, it was fine.
Other than that, Kirkwall was great.
What happened between Kirkwall's mages and Templars?
You were at the Conclave. You must have heard people speak of it.
Yes, but you were there.
There was tension between mages and Templars long before I arrived. Eventually, it reached a breaking point. There was fighting in the streets. Abominations began killing both sides. It was a nightmare.
And how did it end? Badly, that's the answer. It ended badly.
What happened then?
The Templars should have restored order, but Red Lyrium had driven Knight Commander Meredith mad. She threatened to kill Kirkwall's champion, turned on her own men. I'm not sure how far she would have gone. Too far.
So you opposed her?
I stood with the champion against her, in the end. I should have seen through Meredith sooner.
Cullen is one of those characters where I can't really pinpoint how I feel about him. Because he does seem to be very repentant in Inquisition. And he even admits, I should have seen through Meredith sooner. I should have done something sooner, and I didn't. And he does seem to feel some guilt about that. At the same time, I I do understand where people are coming from when, you know, in Dragon Age 2, where he's like, mages aren't people, not like you and me, which is an abhorrent thing to say. However, I'm also like, he went through something traumatic, and the counselling he got for that was Chantry-led. I can't imagine that was decent counselling. I think it was more like, you know, oh yeah, the mages were responsible for that. Your hatred of them is completely justified. Like, I understand why people dislike Cullen. I understand why people like him. I will say I did enjoy his romance. Cullen's romance was the first ever character I played in Inquisition went for Cullen, and it is a very sweet romance, but at the same time that romance doesn't make me forget all the stuff he's done, if that makes sense.
Varric's from Kirkwall. Did you two know each other?
I knew he was friends with the champion of Kirkwall, but little else. We've spoken more since I joined the Inquisition, largely at Varric's insistence. Apparently, I spend too much time with a serious expression on my face, and it's bad for my health.
Okay.
I'll let you return to your work.
Should you require anything, I'll be here.
Thank you, Cullen. Thank you indeed. Now then, I don't recall speaking to Krem or Iron Bull in the last episode, so hello.
Can I help you?
Okay, let's see. Tell me about the Qunari. Yeah, I've said this before. Aenor's never really interacted with a Qunari, so yeah, I think she'd be intrigued.
I'd like to know more about the Qunari.
You writing a book?
Ooh. I want to know more about you. They're a potential threat. They sound interesting. Not this one. Again, Aenor's barely said anything to the Iron Bull. Ooh. Here's the thing. I don't think Aenor views anything as a threat until it has threatened her. If that makes any sense. Aenor is always willing to give people a chance. She's always willing to give someone the benefit of the doubt until you break her trust. At which point, there will be ramifications. But, like, she's not gonna, you know... If you come at someone with hostility, they are more inclined to be hostile. You know, you treated me in this way. What other course of action did I have? You know, you expected me to be hostile. You wouldn't let me prove that I wasn't. So fuck it. If you're going to expect me to act in a certain way, then that's how I'm going to act, because that's the only thing I can do. Aenor wants to avoid situations like this, so this doesn't seem right. I'm not all too fond of this. I wish there was an option for I've never met a Qunari before. I'm just a bit curious. Because interesting is going a bit too far. I'd say intriguing. Aenor's certainly like, this is a way of life that is completely foreign to me. I don't understand it, but I'd like to learn more. Interesting implies like a, ooh, maybe I'd like to get in on that. Or at least it does to me, so I can't pick either of these. I really can't, so I guess I have to go with this.
What I've heard about them sounds fascinating.
What you've heard was mostly horse shit. All right, what do you want to know?
Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm good with that. Okay, yeah, these are... Okay, yeah, just checking. Yeah, let's just go around. What's it like growing up under the Qun?
What's it like growing up under the Qun?
Jinx!
The Tamasrans raised us in these units of kids all our own age. They're like teachers or chantry sisters. They also helped figure out what jobs we should do. They had me pegged for military work early on. When they learned I could hit stuff and lie, they started training me for the Ben Hasra.
Sorry, it's just the fact that he brought up Tamasrans. I was in a Dragon Age tabletop campaign, and I played a Tamasran. Her name was Pasha. technically speaking, her nickname was Pasha. Her name was Tamazran because, you know, the Qunari don't have names. But Pasha, it came from Pashara in Pashara. Enough is enough. So, Pasha. Okay, so no families. You didn't choose your job. You must have been proud. I'm drawn to either of these. Because here's the thing. I think Aenor would know the basics of the Qun. The fact that, like, everything is kind of picked out for you. There really is no choice under the Qun. You either do the thing or you don't. Like, I think she'd know that. I'm not sure whether she'd know if there were family units under the Qun, because there aren't. Basically, children don't know who their parents are. There's also no marriage. It's basically like, you two, breed. Okay, you made the baby. We, the Tamazrans, take the baby and raise it. It is highly unlikely for a Qunari to ever know who their biological parents are. I feel like Aenor might know that. But she is so family-oriented. The idea of growing up without her dad, I think she can't understand that, so yeah, I'm drawn to this.
You never knew your parents?
No. I know for you folks, that's a big deal. The Tamazrans were like our parents, though. Taught us to read, helped us go to sleep, all the parent stuff. I remember the one who helped me build things with blocks. She laughed when I knocked everything down.
Oh, Pasha loved her kids, all 55 of them. And everyone always pulled a face whenever she said she had 55 kids. Okay, I kind of want to leave that one till last. Yeah, can you tell me about the government?
How do the Qunari rule themselves?
It's pretty simple. We've got the matriarchy, the priesthood, and the military. The priesthood figures out how Qunari should live in theory. The matriarchy makes it work in practice. And the military keeps the Qunari safe from outside threats.
Is there much dissent?
Does it actually work like that? Is there much infighting?
Not like you're thinking of. People disagree, yeah, but the priests are there to solve disagreements. Here in Orlais, politicking comes from people putting their own gain ahead of the gains of society. If you do that among the Qunari, the Ben Hasrath sets you straight, or kill you.
Oh. Fair. And yeah, there's no marriage under the Qun?
I've heard there's no marriage among the Qunari.
Yeah, that's true. Qunari love our friends like anyone does, but we don't have sex with them.
Qunari don't have sex?
Oh, we definitely have sex. They're Tamazrans who pop your cork whenever you need it.
I will just say Pasha was not that type of Tamazran. Pasha, no, she was a teacher. That was her role. She wasn't one of the other sexy Tamazrans. Yeah, I think that will be quite shocking to Aenor. Also, yeah, I'm just checking. I thought maybe I had missed something when he was talking about the matriarchy. I don't think I did. I'll check either way. If I missed anything, then it'll get sliced in here.
Seriously?
Yes. It's not a big deal like it is here. It's like, I don't know, going to see a healer. Sometimes it's this long, involved thing. It takes all day. Leaves you walking funny. Other times you're in and out in 5 minutes. Thank you. See you next week.
No, you don't know true passion. Aenor has no interest in showing Bull true passion. Aenor doesn't know this man. I don't know what to say. That's bizarre. Sounds great. What does Aenor think of sex? I think for Aenor, sex is quite an intimate thing. I guess, like, I will say, I don't imagine Aenor to be a virgin. I think she has had sexual partners in the past. I mentioned before, she has been with, you know, multiple men and women over the course of her life, but the relationships just never kind of worked out, either because of, you know, logistical reasons. You know, you're in this clan, I'm in this clan, I don't want to leave my clan and you don't want to leave your clan, so like it's not really gonna work. Or, you know, I'm an elf living in the city and I don't want to leave my city, you know, to join the Dalish, and you don't want to leave the Dalish, so, you know, we're kind of at a standstill here. Or, you know, I'm a human, you're an elf, your clan probably won't accept it, you won't leave the clan, blah blah blah. Like, things never really worked out with Aenor, but she definitely had sex with her partners in the past. I think it just... I think... Aenor... How do I want to put this? Aenor is slow to be attracted to someone, if that makes sense. She wants to get to know a person. She wants to know their personality and who they are and all of those things. But once she is attracted, I think she moves quite quick. But then I also don't think she's ever known love. You know, she's liked people, she's been emotionally involved, but I don't think she's ever been in love with a partner, hence why things never worked out. You know, like, oh, I like you, but I think you're more emotionally invested in this relationship than I am, and, you know, I'm good with my clan, so I think we should maybe just cut things off right here. I'm drawn between those two. Aenor, she moves quickly. Once she's attracted to someone, she moves quite quickly. But she also isn't the type who would have sex with anyone. My Tabris would be like, that's amazing. Yes, absolutely. But Aenor, no. Aenor, how do I put it? She wants to have sex with people she trusts. She's not the type who would, you know, go off with Tom, Dick, or Harry and have a good old time if she doesn't know who Tom, Dick, and Harry really are. I think she'd be more tongue-tied. Bull is kind of a stranger. She's talking about sex with a guy that she doesn't really know. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that.
That sounds different.
Yep. Still, it's more fun here. Fewer rituals, more making it up as you go along. Plus, you folk have redheads. Redheads.
Okay.
How is everyday life different for Qunari?
Depends on your job, I guess. Some are just about the same. A baker in Val Royeaux gets up, gets dressed, and starts work. A baker in Parvolan does the same thing. They don't care about the Empire or the Q. Mostly they worry about breaking eggs and hope the dough rises right.
Yeah, except the baker hasn't chosen to do that.
It can't be exactly the same. The Qunari have no personal freedoms.
How many personal freedoms do you figure that baker in Val Royeaux has? Life isn't about freedom. The baker in Parvolan wonders if she'll be given enough eggs to do her work. Will they come on time? Will the kitchen workers get her bread while it's fresh, or will they come late and blame her because it's stale? Same crap in Val Royeaux. People are just people.
And this, what if Thedas fell to the Qun?
Do you ever think about what would happen if the Qunari conquered Orlais or Ferelden?
Some folks, like Cassandra or Cullen, would do fine if they didn't die fighting. Those two love rules. But the mages... Can you imagine Solus trying his fade dreaming under the cube? Or Vivian doing her political bullshit? Both Sarah and Varric would mouth off until they ended up re-educated, drugged until their minds broke. So, to answer your question, No, I don't think about it much at all.
Again, I said it before, and I'll say it again. I love Bull as a representation of the Qun because he's honest. If Tallis had been standing here, it would have like, oh no, everything would have been perfect and it would have been fine and like, oh, the Qun cares, da 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 da. I'm totally not indoctrinated. Eye twitching. With Bull, he's so honest. I love that. Oh, can you imagine Solus and Vivienne doing their thing and like Sarah and Varric would be drugged? Like, no, I don't think about that at all. I'm like, I love you, Bull. I love you. Can you tell me about what the word Qunari means?
The word Qunari, is that the race or the religion?
Both. Kind of. The humans and elves who follow the Qun are the Vidathari. The Qunari who break away from the Qun are Talbasha, deserters.
And what about those who came before?
What about Qunari who existed before the Qun?
The people we came from. They're called the Karsith, but we don't use that word for the race. We came south to Thedas because the Karsith were... I don't know. We had to leave. The stories aren't clear. But I don't expect they look much like us. Whatever they are.
See you later, Bull.
Ta-ra. And Krem... Krem has so few conversations, so I'm gonna save him for a different day. I believe... are you gonna say anything? Oh.
Greetings.
Hello. I believe we did pick up, there should be something because of the trials. I think. Hey! Nice! Excellent.
Greetings.
Greetings again. And Varric. Hello there, buddy.
Need something?
I'm pretty sure we asked about Hawk. Let me check.
I read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
Carry on.
That's odd.
Need something?
You know, we have been seeing red lyrium popping up, so I feel like that would be pressing on Aenor's mind.
The red lyrium we found at the temple seemed to upset you.
My brother Bertrand and I sort of discovered red lyrium during an expedition in the Deep Roads. We located an ancient thaig, so old it barely looked dwarven. There was this idol there made of it. Bertrand brought it back to the surface, and, well, everything's gone downhill from there.
Yeah, but what is it exactly?
So what is it? Just another kind of lyrium?
The red stuff is lyrium like a dragon is a lizard. It's not just a different color. It has a whole host of weirdness all its own. I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen this stuff before or knows where it came from.
And what can it do?
What makes it special?
Regular lyrium can mess you up pretty badly, but you have to ingest it for that to happen. Red lyrium messes with your mind when you're just near the stuff. You hear singing, get violent, paranoid, and then it does creepy shit. Makes things float, brings statues to life. I've had a few alchemists studying it in Kirkwall, in shifts.
Yes, he does have a piece of it because Amelia let him keep it. Yeah. Amelia didn't really want Varric to keep the lyrium, but it was the fact that he brought up Bertrand. This is my one chance to save my brother. Maybe I can use the lyrium shard to find a cure. And Amelia, she just... Family was her kryptonite. It reminded her of Carver, and she would have done anything to save him. She really would have. And so she felt selfish, being like, oh, I'd do anything to save my brother, but I'm gonna deny you the same right. So she let him keep it.
Why do you have red lyrium?
My brother kept the sliver when he sold it. I'm pretty sure he held on to it because it was already talking to him. That little shard drove him mad. I had him taken to a sanitarium and eventually found the fragment in his house. We brought the shit to the surface, Bartrand and I. I wanted to find out if there was a way to shut it up. So far, it looks like the answer is no.
Oh dear.
If red lyrium is as dangerous as you say, why'd you keep it?
I've heard that shit singing to me. I know better than anyone how bad it is. In Orzammar, miners keep regular, non-crazy raw lyrium in special lead-lined containers. Actually, it's a huge secret how they're constructed. Keeps surface folk from horning in on the lyrium trade. I pulled a lot of strings and got a smith to build me 4 of them nested inside each other. Nobody gets to study it up close for more than an hour, and they have to wait a week between shifts.
I think that's enough on red lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
Hold up, did I, oh, hey, there we go, that's seeing red. I wondered how he got that. Was there something else there?
Need something?
I want to know more about red lyrium.
I'll tell you what I can.
Yeah, there we go. Why was it in the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
How did the red lyrium get in the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
I don't know. As far as I knew, there was only one small piece of the original idol we brought out of the Deep Roads. And it's locked in a vault in Kirkwall. One I had built by the mining caste especially to hold it.
I think that's enough on red lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
Indeed. And with that, I'm going to bring this episode to a close. In the next one, Sarah and Solus, and maybe Vivienne, if we get the chance. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.